We all carry narratives in our minds, especially when it comes to career paths. These stories, often picked up from movies, family conversations, or cultural stereotypes, shape our perceptions of what certain jobs entail. They become mental shortcuts, simplifying complex professions into easily digestible, but often wildly inaccurate caricatures. This essay is an invitation to pause and reconsider some of those well-worn narratives. We will gently pull back the curtain on three major fields of study and work: computer science and IT, engineering, business, and management. My purpose here is not to give you a definitive career guide, but to encourage a moment of reflection and to question the assumptions we hold. The most persistent myth in the world of computer science and IT is that of the lone genius. This narrative paints a picture of a brilliant, almost otherworldly individual who lives and breathes code. They started coding in their childhood bedroom. They speak multiple complex programming languages fluently. They possess mathematical intuition that borders on the supernatural. They are often depicted as socially awkward, preferring the company of a glowing screen to human interaction. Capable of solving impossibly complex problems in a single caffeine-fueled night. This is the Hollywood version of a hacker or a Silicon Valley founder. This myth is incredibly powerful, and its effects are often damaging. It creates an impossibly high and largely imaginary barrier to entry. Many curious and capable people conclude a career in technology is simply not for them. They think they aren't smart enough. They think they didn't start early enough. They think they don't have the specific, narrow intelligence required. The myth suggests tech skills are an innate gift rather than a learned craft. It's a fundamentally discouraging message for newcomers. The reality of most jobs in computer science and IT is far more grounded, accessible, and human than the myth suggests. At its core, much of the work in technology is not about genius-level invention, but about patient, methodical problem-solving. It's about breaking down a large, complicated challenge into smaller, manageable pieces and working through them one by one. This requires less innate brilliance and more persistence, logic, a willingness to learn from mistakes. Many successful tech professionals started as beginners, learning step-by-step through practice, tutorials, collaboration. The most crucial skill isn't having the answer, it's knowing how to find it. Teamwork and communication are central pillars of the modern tech world. A single application or IT system is rarely built by one person. It's the product of a team, each bringing different skills. Programmers with designers, building user-friendly interfaces. Programmers with product managers, understanding customer needs. Programmers with QA testers, finding and fixing bugs. Explaining technical ideas in simple terms. Listening to feedback from non-technical colleagues. Working together toward a shared goal can be as valuable as elegant code. They don't need to invent a language or a new algorithm. They can use tools like Shopify or WordPress, talking to the bakery owner to understand needs, deciding what products to list, choosing which photos to use, determining how to handle shipping, arranging page elements, testing the checkout experience, fixing small, practical bugs. This work directly helps a small business succeed. It's accomplished through communication, practical skills, patient iteration, not solitary genius. Tech is inclusive, not exclusive. It values many skills beyond coding. User experience design, project management, data analysis, technical writing, IT support. Technology is a craft that can be learned, a team sport that thrives on collaboration. When many people hear the word engineer, a specific image comes to mind. It is often a person surrounded by blueprints and complex machinery, engrossed in a world of pure mathematics and physics. The myth of the engineer is that of a detached, purely technical expert who deals only with inanimate objects and abstract forces. In this story, engineering is a cold discipline, devoid of human emotion or social consideration. The engineer is seen as someone who designs a bridge based solely on load-bearing calculations, or builds an engine focused only on maximizing thermodynamic efficiency, with little thought for the people who will use the final product or the environment it will impact. We see a massive skyscraper, a sophisticated rocket, a sprawling power grid, and we instinctively associate it with immense technical complexity. The human element, the collaboration, the debates over safety, the considerations of cost and aesthetics is often invisible. Contrary to the myth of the cold calculator, reality shows that engineering is a profoundly creative and human-centered discipline. While technical precision and mathematical rigor are undoubtedly essential, they are tools in service of a larger goal: to solve human problems and improve people's lives. Modern engineering is fundamentally about trade-offs: safety versus cost, performance versus environmental impact, functionality versus ease of use. This balancing act is not a simple mathematical equation. It is a creative process that requires judgment, foresight, a deep understanding of human needs and behaviors. Collaboration is at the very heart of the engineering process. An engineer rarely works in isolation. They are part of a dynamic team that often includes designers, project managers, clients, end users. A key part of an engineer's job is to communicate complex ideas clearly and persuasively to a non-technical audience. They must listen to feedback, negotiate compromises, and work collaboratively to bring a project to life. Empathy, the ability to put oneself in the shoes of the person who will use the product or be affected by the structure, is not a soft skill, but a critical engineering tool for creating solutions that are not just technically sound, but also desirable and just. As a simple example, imagine a civil engineer tasked with designing a small footbridge for a new community park. The world of business and management is plagued by its own powerful myth: the all-powerful, commanding boss. Popularized by films and TV, this stereotype depicts a manager who gives orders, makes unilateral decisions, rules through authority and intimidation. Their job? Maximize profit at all costs. Business framed as a cutthroat game of competition. Success measured by financial gain and by market dominance. It elevates the lone leader as hero who single-handedly drives success. The reality of effective business and management is far more nuanced and human-centric. A good manager is less like a commanding general and more like a humble gardener. Their primary role is not to give orders, but to create the conditions in which their team can thrive. This involves cultivating an environment of psychological safety, where people feel comfortable sharing ideas, asking questions, and even admitting mistakes. It means providing the team with the right tools, removing obstacles, and ensuring shared goals. Great management is fundamentally an act of service. Consider a simple, everyday example: the manager of a small retail store. An effective manager doesn't just sit in the back office telling staff what to do. They are on the floor, observing customer interactions and helping to restock shelves during a busy period. They hold regular, brief team meetings to set clear and achievable sales goals for the day. When a new employee is struggling, the manager doesn't reprimand them, but instead takes the time to coach them, demonstrating a better way to engage with customers. This manager builds a positive team culture. Employees feel valued, customer service improves, and the store prospers. Their leadership is about enabling others. In conclusion, the journey from myth to reality reveals a powerful, unifying truth. Whether in technology, engineering, or business, the work is more collaborative, creative, and human than the stereotypes suggest. The intimidating figures of the genius coder, the cold engineer, and the authoritarian boss are largely fictions. The reality is that these fields are filled with everyday people working together to solve problems. Do not let the myths hold you back. The most important first step you can take is a small one. Try a short online course. Talk to someone in a field that interests you, or simply start rethinking what you thought you knew. Every great career begins not with a giant leap, but with a single, curious step. See these paths not as monolithic, intimidating mountains, but as diverse landscapes with many points of entry. Let's set aside the folklore and look at the facts. With patience, practice, and people.